What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the Fantasy Fellowship channel. My name's Kyle. In this video, it's August 2nd. We're going to be going over the risers and fallers over on the best ball sites Underdog, Drafters, and DraftKings. All of the links that I'm going to show in the video here are going to be accessible in the description if you're on YouTube. So let's hop right into the screen share. We're going to first start with Underdog, and basically this is the ADP change from the last week. I update this every Wednesday, and then I'll upload a video with it. But here are your top risers over here on DraftKings, and it looks there's going to be a theme. It looks like the Chiefs wide receivers are on the move the most from the past week or so. And the number one player moving up boards is Justin Ross. He's got a 15.4 ADP change. It's almost up a round and a half. He is now firmly in the top 200, and he's a guy that's probably going to keep rising as more training camp videos come out of Chiefs camp. The other Chiefs receiver here is Richie James, who's also in the top 200 now. Both these guys were outside of the top 200, but they're both in there. Richie James up almost a full round, and those are the two biggest risers this week. Number 3 is the Raiders' second-year running back, Zamir White, and he continues his steady climb. And as long as Josh Jacobs is not in training camp, you're going to see Zamir White continue to climb. So if you want him, he's going to cost probably like a 17th, probably not an 18th round pick. He's probably a 16th or 17th round pick in best ball sites right now. More Chiefs receivers, Rashee Rice moving up 5.3 spots to wide receiver 62. John Mechie moving up 5 spots himself to number 178 overall, wide receiver 76. Ezekiel Elliott's moving up. I'm not sure why. There's maybe a little bit of hype of him signing somewhere soon. He's up 4.5 spots over the past week. You have Dalton Kincaid, the rookie tight end for the Bills. And if you just turn on Twitter, man, you're going to probably see a Dalton Kincaid highlight. He's been all over the place, but now he's entering that tight end 12 range. He's being drafted as a tight end 1. So that still feels a little bit rich to me, but for where you draft him, you know, you can tag on some other tight ends with him or get him as your tight end 2 and feel pretty good about it. I like grabbing him when I do Buffalo Bills stacks. Brock Purdy continues his climb as he's fully in the camp swing of things right now. He's up 4 spots to 168, QB 23. Another rookie tight end, Sam Laporta, up to tight end 18. His price I actually like and feels pretty good about. I think he's going to be, a back end tight end 2 for fantasy football this year, and for where he's going, I think it's a decent price. I wish Kincaid was going a little bit cheaper like Laporta was, but I still buy both rookie tight ends. And then we have a second year tight end, Jake Ferguson. He is going to be entering the top 200 soon. The drafted tight end, Luke Schoonmaker, is not in camp yet. And the only other option is Peyton Hendershot, but it does look like all the camp practices are saying Jake Ferguson's the tight end to be catching passes with the ones. And then you have Sky Moore, another Chiefs receiver, up 3.8 spots. He is firmly within the top 100 right now, squarely into the 8th round of fantasy football drafts. Rashad Penny, Calvin Ridley, Deonta Foreman, and Raheem Mostert round up the top 15 or so. I want to note Javonte Williams is on the rise about 3 spots. Darren Waller on the rise about 3 spots. James Conner moving up boards too. That's a weird one. You got Cole Kmet and Gabe Davis up a couple spots as well. And Saquon Barkley is moving up boards now that he's finally in camp. And then the sleeper here is James Cook. He is a guy that's going to probably be continuing to move up boards. He's got a 92 ADP right now. But when I was drafting today, you have to take him in the 7th round of your best ball drafts to get him. And then let's move on down, I guess, to the bottom of the risers list here. I'll just shout out some names for you guys. David Njoku, Amari Cooper, Jerome Ford, all the Cleveland Browns here on the rise. Sam Howell on the rise about a spot. Mike Evans up a little bit. Tank Bigsby continues his climb. And then another Chief here, Deneric Prince. So yeah, we got some guys moving up the boards there. Let's move on to the fallers over on Underdog. And the number 1 is Kadarius Toney, and the fall hasn't hit him here quite as big as the other sites yet. We'll get to him, on Drafters and DraftKings, but he's down almost 9 spots here. He's falling into the 8th round of fantasy drafts, and he's pretty much the reason why the other Chiefs receivers were moving up the board so quick. You got Wan'Dale Robinson continuing his fall. I don't think he's going to be much of a factor this year at all, so he's not really draftable to me. Tyquan Thornton has not been sticking out in Patriots camp. Chigoziem Okonkwo continues his fall. He's been kind of in limbo ever since D-Hop went there and ate up some of his targets. I don't know why Chase Brown's falling. We did just see Travion Williams got carted off practice yesterday with an ankle injury. So I would expect Chase Brown to probably move up and be in the top 200 again. Breece Hall is one of the biggest fallers on Underdog, down 4.6 spots. In some of the other sites, he's a little bit steeper of a fall, but he's a 3rd round pick right now, a late 3rd. I see him dip into the 4th round. Other notables here, Jawan Johnson's falling, Hunter Renfrow, Terrace Marshall, Zach Charbonnet, who has not been in camp yet. He's got I think it's a shoulder thing right now. he's falling down boards pretty fast. He's probably going to be towards the top of this list next week. I'm seeing him go routinely in the 10th, sometimes the 11th round. Joe Burrow with his calf strain, he's down about 3.5 spots to QB5, 48th overall. Traylon Burks, he's starting to settle in to like a late 7th, early 8th round pick. I don't know why Leonard Fournette's falling. We all know why Jonathan Taylor's falling. He's going to probably be on a little bit higher on the faller list next week. He's falling squarely into the 3rd round. J.K. Dobbins also continues to fall here into Underdog. It's weird. He's only got a 6th round ADP, but on some of the other sites, he's a 7th and 8th round pick. So check out the fallers here, guys. I'll shout out a couple other ones. Kenneth Walker, Jameson Williams are falling. Marvin Mims is going to be on the riser board now that Tim Patrick is out with an Achilles injury. And then, we got Khalil Shakir falling, Pacheco falling, Luke Musgrave falling, Derek Carr a little bit. But all these spots are just about a point or two, so nothing too crazy. But those are your fallers on Underdog. Let's move over to the Drafters website, which is full PPR. And at the top of the risers list on Drafters, you have Richie James up 16.6 spots. He's going 182 overall, so he's a little bit steeper of an incline here on Drafters. And again, this is all related to the Kadarius Toney news. Justin Ross, number 2 on this list. He's up 15 spots. So very similar to Underdog. Both these guys are at the top of the risers list and probably going to continue to keep on rising. As long as Kadarius Toney's out, we're going to see all the Chiefs receivers ADP move. And then you got Rashee Rice here. So the top 3 spots belong to the Chiefs receivers on Drafters. Rashee's up about 9 spots here, and he's pretty hard to get. He's probably going to be in the top 120 next week, I would imagine. So I like pulling all 3 guys here. I do need to start pulling some Justin Ross, though, late, as he looks really good in his camp videos. Javonte Williams is getting a little out of control. He's up 8.6 spots. He's entering the 7th round of fantasy drafts right now, which seems a little crazy to me. People still need to remember that he's coming off of a serious knee injury. I don't know if people care anymore. Like, he's being drafted in the 7th round. They did bring in Samaje Perine. They're going to run the ball a lot, but I don't expect Javonte to get a full workload right away. Maybe by November, December, we'll see. But Javonte moving up boards, RB25 right now. Dalton Kincaid moving up boards here as well. Rashad Penny, Zamir White. Raheem Mostert, as it looks more and more like the Dolphins are not going to get Dalvin Cook, you're seeing all the Dolphins running backs rise. That's all 3 of them. Devon Achane, Jeff Wilson, and Raheem Mostert's getting the biggest bump here. Nico Collins is a big winner right now. He has now entered the top 108, which puts him in the 9th round if you want him. Just 2 weeks ago, he was an 11th round pick. So it looks like he is going to be the lead target guy for the Houston Texans. MVS also moving up, so that's just some more aftermath from Kadarius Toney. Gus Edwards moving up, and that's in direct correlation to J.K. Dobbins holding out. He's also on the PUP list, so we'll see. But Ravens backup running back there moving up the boards. Isaiah Hodgins moving up. Matt Collins moving up. John Mechie moving up here as well. Cole Kmet moving up a decent amount with his new contract. And Calvin Ridley, man, he's been tough to get on any best ball website right now because you have to take him at the 2-3 turn, early 3rd round pick. He's going 26.8 overall, wide receiver 16. A couple training camp videos will do that for Calvin Ridley. He looks really good. He's nursing a toe injury right now, though, so keep an eye on that. Sam Laporta moving up here. He's tight end 18 on both sites. Hunter Henry moving up draft boards as well. And then there's James Cook, who I mentioned moving up on Underdog, and he's going to be probably on the top risers next week. He's probably going to be a 7th round pick at some point next week. Brian Robinson also having good camp hype. I like him quite a bit. Saquon Barkley, again, he's back in the fold with this contract. There's Devon Achane, Sky Moore. Not as big as a bump because he already had been moving up so fast. But yeah, he might be a 7th round pick in a week or so. Gabe Davis, a lot of the similar names here. I'm not sure why Luke Schoonmaker's moving up. He hasn't practiced yet. But there's Jeff Wilson. So all 3 Dolphins backs moving up. Jake Ferguson, who I like a lot. I think he's going to be a top 24 tight end soon. Probably going to be moving up throughout the rest of August. Darren Waller, another favorite target of mine, moving up. Dawson Knox, don't sleep on Dawson Knox. I know Kincaid's a popular pick right now, but Knox is going to be on the field just as much, if not more. Russell Wilson, Michael Mayer, and then James Conner, Melvin Gordon down here at the bottom. So those are your biggest risers over on Drafters. Now, how about them fallers? You have Kadarius Toney dropping 24 spots. And like I mentioned, he didn't fall as much on Underdog, but in a full PPR site, he's falling out of the top 100 right now. And he's going to be on this list again next week because I did some drafts today and he was going in the 11th round. Or 10th, 11th round. So watch for Kadarius Toney to continue to fall. J.K. Dobbins falling pretty hard here, down 10 plus spots. And you can get him right now at the end of the 7th round and sometimes into the 8th round. So I have been starting to nibble back into J.K. Dobbins here. Wan'Dale Robinson, Pierre Strong, whatever. Not sure why Allen Lazard's falling. I do know why Breece Hall's falling. He's down 7 spots. A little bit steeper of a decline here on drafters. Again, don't draft Tyquan Thornton. Don't draft James Robinson. Renfro, still not sure why he's falling here. He's going to be the 3rd receiver for Jimmy Garoppolo. Rashad Bateman continues to fall as he's a no-show. Not a no-show, but he's not in camp on the PUP list right now. And yeah, I don't know why Jawan Johnson's falling, but he is. I think he's a top 24 tight end, and he's right on the fringe now. But Jordan Love continues to fall. I've been buying shares of him in that Packers offense. Jonathan Taylor dipping down here to 22.4th overall. Okonkwo, Kenny Pickett's falling. I don't know why these QBs are falling. Jordan Love, Kenny Pickett, Jared Goff. There's probably a couple other ones here, but I'm going to continue to buy these guys as my QB too. Charbonnet continues to fall. Not sure why Darius Slayton's falling. I think you got to probably continue to buy Joe Burrow right now as he's getting put on a discount with that calf injury. Kyler Murray's price is coming down. A trend here. Quarterbacks are kind of falling right now across the websites. Mac Jones, Kirk Cousins, Matt Stafford, all these guys are on discount. So, but again, you guys can check out all of these lists for yourself. I'm just kind of covering the quick hitters. And then let's finish up with DraftKings. I'll be a little bit quicker here. The top risers in the past week: Richie James, Justin Ross, Rashee Rice, Sky Moore. All 4 Chiefs receivers are at the top of the list, moving more than 1 round. So curious who's DraftKings #1 faller. We'll see in a sec. But more John Mechie buzz. Jimmy Garoppolo moving up now that he's healthy. Brock Purdy continues climbing. More Calvin Ridley buzz. Juju moving up a little bit here is interesting. Rashad Penny, I do like Penny. He's moving up into the 9th round. Again, Nico Collins, Hunter Henry, Dalton Kincaid, Cole Kmet. And then Zach Moss. He was moving up until he went and broke his arm in practice, and he's probably going to be on the top faller list next week. But a lot of the similar lists here. I do like Zay Flowers. He should be on some of the other sites on Underdog and Drafters Risers. I think he's going to be continuing to climb into the 7th round, I think, in a week or so. Barkley moving up, Darren Waller moving up, Ferguson, Laporta, Javonte. It's a lot of the same names. Michael Thomas moving up on DraftKings is interesting. JSN, as people get more comfortable with the rookie receiver. Gabe Davis, a lot of good names on this list. Trey McBride moving up, Brian Robinson, Dawson Knox. Again, Jeff Wilson, Zamir White, Quentin Johnston, Jordan Addison. So the top 3 rookie receivers are all moving up boards right now. More James Cook buzz. Kenny McIntosh is the 3rd running back in Seattle. He's been getting a lot of reps with the one since the other 2 guys have been out. And then Jalen Hyatt, he's finally off the fallers list. He's now moving up boards now that he's making plays in camp. So George Pickens here as well, James Conner, Kendra Miller moving up boards again after being on the faller list for the last couple of weeks. And the biggest fallers on DraftKings, no surprise, Kadarius Toney, Tim Patrick out for the year, Tyquan Thornton, Joe Burrow, Charbonnet, Dobbins, Jawan, James Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, and Breece Hall round out the top 10. So yeah, a lot of the similar lists and things like that. Both DraftKings and Drafters are full PPR format. So again, if you guys want to check out these charts, go to thefantasyfellowship.com. Just find whatever Underdog, Drafters, or DraftKings format you want, and then just click on ADP Risers and Fallers. That's all I got for you guys today. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll talk to you guys in a future video. Peace.